both. I think first to the Egyptians, both Christians and Muslims, and then to the whole world that it's a security state. I didn't expect it myself, and in the same morning I was sitting with Pope Tewodros, congratulating him with a group of people, and somebody asked if the president would come or not. And my opinion was I said that I think he wants to come, but maybe the security conditions would prevent him or make it difficult for him to attend, because it's hard to control the security in this event. But he made it, and he gave this message, and I believe this symbolic visit should be a start, and we should work on implementing his words when he said that we are all Egyptians, there's no different kinds of Egyptians. Then we should work on making laws that interpret these words, work on the curriculums, education curriculums, and the awareness programs that interpret these words into real actions. So this, it's not the end. We didn't say that we have now full citizenship for all Egyptians by this visit, but it's a great start to start with and start
this is
working
exactly
on.
what Pope Tewodros II said right after the visit of President El-Sisi, said that, of course, we do welcome and hail, of course, he hailed and welcomed the visit of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi to the cathedral during the Mass, and he said that it marks a new era for Egypt. But, you know, the timing of this, it's coming just 2 months before the parliamentary elections. Is it paving the way for Egyptians to think in a different way? Is it a message to say that political stability should be going in parallel with social stability, with unity, with proving to the whole world that we are one hand?
Yes, sure, it is. You cannot separate the different kinds of stabilities, but it's all they all interact together. And I believe this is a kind of social stability and a clear message to everybody. And now we are preparing for the third step of the road map plan, the parliamentary elections. I believe this is also another message to the whole world that we are now, because many people were suspecting that why we are delaying the parliamentary elections is because of the lack of stability, the lack of security. But now with the announcement of the exact dates for the elections, this gives another message. And I believe this will positively reflect to the tourism, to the economic conditions. And I followed some of the international reactions, the American Secretary of State and some people who were positively reacting to announcing the elections time, because there is no political life without a parliament. And we need to have a parliament. We need to have to fulfill and to complete all the foundations and the democratic organizations of the state.
Are we interviewing a candidate?
Of course, hopefully. He can say better than me, but Dr. Bayady, of course, as a former member of parliament, speaking about what was before, you have been in contact with different sectors of society, dealing with several problems and studying, have a full review of the Egyptian character with all the social problems that are associated with the Egyptian character, the pros and cons. But let's talk about intolerance and not accepting the other, you know, something that is different. This didn't exist in the 60s and 70s. I mean, we had Jews, we had Christians, we had Muslims living together in harmony, and none of these problems existed at all.
Relatively,
and suddenly that started with the I mean late 80s and 90s, and it started to intensify. So where do you see, how can you root out that problem and so that we can be able to sort it out or resolve it?
Yes, I believe it's a complex problem, and the first thing that we start with, that we should confess that there is a problem. Because in many events where, and I said this in different interviews and in the former parliament, that when there is a sectarial event or a clash between Christians and Muslims, people would say, no, there is no problem, we love each other, and you see this
priest and sheikh kissing each other, and that's
classic picture and saying good words about each other. And I said, no, we have to confess. I'm a medical doctor, and if the patient doesn't come to me and confess that he is sick, he will not get better. But if he said, no, I'm good, I don't need treatment, then he will keep getting worse. So we have to confess first that there is a problem. There is some fundamental roots that escaped into our society, and we are not used to this before. We used to have our Egyptian identity to deal with each other as Egyptians, not regarding each other's beliefs or religion. But I believe the former regimes too, the starting from Sadat time and passing to Mubarak and the Muslim Brotherhood time, they manipulated these fundamental roots, and they wanted how to, they knew how to use it for their interests, and how to, when they want to ignite these problems, they ignite it, and when they want to calm it down, they do it. So they use these things, and we had some ideas coming from outside with people who were traveling to the Gulf areas, and they came back with some fundamental teachings and started to teach to each other. And we didn't work, the former regimes didn't work how to fight back these ideas, not by, I don't mean by fighting by weapons, but by also by teachings.
Ideologies,
yes,
fighting ideologies.
by using the curriculums of education. We need to look back to how we educate the children from the beginning. We don't teach our children that we have Egyptian friends and we have to deal with them. I remember my boys didn't know that we have other religion in Egypt, unless they started to separate them in the religious classes. When they know that Christians will go to a class and the Muslims go to another class. And I believe this is something also we have to look at. And when the children grow up with each other and they know that they are friends, and they say, why we have to be separated in the religious class? And do we really need to have this kind of religious education, or we can think of another way or another place to teach people about religion? The teachings people receive in Al-Azhar institutes is something we need to revise, and many people now are speaking about the books and the teachings they are receiving. We need to focus on this. So as I earlier said, the words of the President is a great start, but we have to implement it. We shouldn't stop that. The President said that we are all Egyptians. It's great, but we have to start working
on the ground
and implement it.
Yes. So, Dr. Freddy Bayady, Merry Christmas, first, second, and third.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you, and Happy New Year, and also for the Prophet Muhammad's birthday. It was the same time.
Same week.
Yeah, same week. Yeah. That's great occasions.
Sir, thank you very much for being with us, and thank you very much for your input.
Thanks for you. Have a good day.
Unfortunately, we are running out of time, so it's time to say goodbye. Of course, I enjoyed my time being my dear colleague Dina Hussein in this Saturday's episode of the Breakfast Show. Thanks a lot, Dina, and have a very good day.
Thank you very much, Nermeen. Until we see you tomorrow with another new crew, that's a goodbye.